Good afternoon. I'm Yuri Chianese from RSP. Today we will have this workshop together, which is focused on business idea validation from SMEs. Our project, 5GSolutions, have launched this initiative, which is called SME Involvement, which has the focus and the goal to involve SMEs in better understanding how 5G and our platform, 5GSolutions, can help small and medium enterprise to develop business ideas focused on using 5G technologies for their applications. Today, I will be the coordinator of this workshop. So I will introduce you the agenda and each speaker so that my project partners and colleagues can give you a focused understanding of various parts of the projects. So our agenda will have some short speech. The goal is to give you a wide understanding of the project, the SME initiative, and the opportunity to innovate with project partners. Today we will have NL and NLX speaking about the project involvement and the open innovation model for SMEs and startups. Finally, Maurizio Cecchi, chairman of PU Institute, will explain about accessing European funding for 5G applications, which are developed specifically for SMEs. In the end of the session, last 20 minutes, we will have the speech from three high-tech startups which are developing application which will have good improvement by applying 5G technology. The three startups are WearTech. Matteo Rizzi will introduce WearTech idea, Modelway with Stefano Milanese, and finally, IPO with Mattia Alfieri. So I will give the floor to Andrea Di Giglio. Andrea is a senior technical manager from TIM. He's also the project coordinator, so he's 5GSolutions project coordinator, and he will give us an overview of 5GSolutions project. So please, Andrea, if you can share your screen.
We cannot hear you, Andrea. You are still on mute.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Totally, yeah.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Yuri, for the kind introduction. Now we are presenting the project 5GSolutions, that is the organizer of this event, and in particular, what I'm taking is that, okay, I will present the 5GSolutions project. I will say what 5G is, not for experts, just for a wide auditorium. I will show where 5GSolutions fits in the development and the use of 5G, and what awaits us for the future, and then if you have questions, discussion, and so on. So 5GSolutions is a quite big project that is about 14 million euros. What is important is that 9 out of 27 partners are The small medium enterprise, RS2T, Apart, Cyberetics Lab, Inlecom, Iris, Neurogames, Orbis, and they covers more than 40% of the manpower and the budget of the project. The project is spread across all the Europe, from Cyprus, Israel to Norway, then Cyprus, then Ireland, Spain, and of course Italy. Now, what is 5G? 5G is a higher bit rate with respect to 4G. It's a better coverage, is more availability, is a higher number of objects. Higher availability is what is the characteristics of what happens during the movement, the evolution through the mobile generation, because when you have the just a phone call, the first two generations, then in generation number 4, 4G, you have the possibility to download a video and watching video online streaming in a streaming mode. This is just for higher bit rate, but 5G, sorry, is not just a higher bit rate. It's more than this one. It's more than this one because for sure is better coverage. For sure is more more availability. For sure is that you have a 30 millisecond of latency. But what I think that 5G revolution is the most is a higher number of objects. This conference is titled IOTHINGS. That is the 5G revolution, the Internet of Things, a lot of objects connected to the network. The goal is 1 million objects per square kilometers. Just an example, if you take the city of Turin, where I live, Torino, in Italy, the municipality area is about 130 square kilometers. That means that 1 million objects per square kilometer in the total of the whole municipality of Turin is possible to connect to 5G 130 million objects. That means if you consider that Turin has less than 1 million inhabitants, including babies, very old people, people that reject the technology and so on, one people has more than 150 objects that can connect to the 5G networks. That is that you can connect the car, the fridge, the lamps, the system for cooling and heating, and so on. And this is the revolution. Everything is connecting, not only to connect people, as Nokia said in the 90s, but connecting people and connecting objects, and connect, of course, together people and objects. 5G solutions take its part for provide this 5G revolution. And we are working in several living labs. The factory of the future is the living lab number 1 that is capable to connect and control remotely the factories. These are a lot of advantages because you can avoid that the workers go in the very dangerous zone in the factories, avoiding or minimizing the work accidents. This is possible through an industrial automation together with the augmented reality. That is one part, of course, of the 5G triangles that release on the ultra reliable and low latency communications. The second living lab is about the smart energy. Here is very difficult to provide something that characterizes this, because I think that smart city is not enough, because okay, there will be a lot of objects that are connected for smart energy. But I think that we need just also ultra reliable connection, because the subject is really important. Then logistics, smart ports, smart airports, that helps to have a greener world, better organize the logistic in the ports container. Smart cities, all the sensors that are connected to the network, cameras to avoid to avoiding that people entering your room, that sensor for temperature, for gas, for everything that helps the life of the citizens, smart parking, smart lighting in the public streets. That's really important. And finally, the entertainment. During the last pandemic, it was important to have media entertainment at home. So the possibility to have a lot of gigabit per second, the standards promise about 20 megabit per second in download. It's important to have a sophisticated entertainment like gaming on online mega events, where not only the people are who watch the videos, but perhaps that also the participant to a mega events will provide with the camera of the phone to becomes with an artificial intelligence the filmmaker of the event. In principle, the project deals of a lot of case studies that are across Europe and across different subjects that are in Italy for the smart energy. Then you have in Ireland and in Norway, in Greece, and they belong together industry from one side, but also citizen for the other side. And the use cases belongs on the ICT 17 projects facilities that are provided in our cases by 5G Vini in Norway and in Greece, and 5G Eve in Italy. Then there are some private nodes, in particular in Procter & Gamble factory in Belgium, and in Orbis and Glanbia factories in Ireland, that are the infrastructure provided directly by the 5GSolutions project. Of course, this infrastructure should be controlled, and the 5GSolutions has a CDSO control system that works together with the use case facilities and the network facilities that are private or provided by the ICT 17 projects. Then we have the requirements for the connections, the requirements that the performance of the use cases that are visualized by the KPI visualization systems. KPI is, of course, key performance indicators, just to check if the requirement have been satisfied by the use cases. Not only one cycle of the tests will be provided, but 3 cycles that, if you can, and if the technology will be available, we will test the different release of GPP 5G network. Sorry. And then where we are exactly at the middle of the project. The s.r.l, that is the level of readiness of the technology, ranging from 0, that is just to have an idea, to 9, that is a full commercial application. Sorry again. We are ranging in the project from the s.r.l 3, where the research is on, but is applied research to a tier 9 that is not a full commercial application, but they had a first of kind commercial system when we not only test the technical feasibility of the solutions, but also the commercial, the economic viability of the solution as well. So, going to the requirements, we set more than 140 technological KPIs that has the whole goal to reduce the environment pollutions, to the smart city, to reduce capex and opex, so economic, to reduce the to improve the safety and improve the productivity of the factories. This is translated into something that is more familiar with the telecommunication world, so that is the reliability is 99 of reliability. That means that you have at maximum 5 minutes of outage in 1 year. The latency, okay, now the release that we have now promise 30 millisecond maximum latency. Here we are ambitious, more than 5 or maximum 10 milliseconds. The mobility data rate that is an ambitious project. About the smart energy field, that is the Italian Living Lab in 5GSolutions, that I don't spend much time here because there are specific intervention there. That is what smart energy, that is RS2T, CRAT, analytics, even that will provide in the validating of 5G technologies a key innovation factor of the forthcoming decade. That means that the energy is difficult to store, so we have to coordinate a lot of sources of energy, for instance, the renewable solar cells, together with the sink of the consumer of energy that is now, for instance, the suppliers for the electrical vehicle of the big factories, of the heating pumps, etc., etc. So what I would like that will be the takeaway for my speech is that in some short sentences, the European funded project like 5GSolutions is implemented the most advanced and updated technology. We are the leader of the technology, and in the recent years, the objectives of the project are not a sort of Castalia like Herman S. teached, that is okay, a very interesting place where investigate, but not oriented to the product, not oriented to the money, not oriented to the customers. Now, the recent years, the European Union forces us to consider also business KPIs and the social impact. And then what I have experienced in this project that is very important is the collaboration between large companies like mine, the university, the research centers, in particular the SMEs, that in this project is very, very close. Abraham Lincoln told that the best way to predict the future is to create it, and okay, we are trying to do it. I hope that we reach. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Andrea. We have a question, if you can take it. We can take one question per speaker, then if we have time at the end of the workshop, we will answer more questions. There is an auditor saying if you can please clarify if these use cases are fully isolated networks, for example, private networks, or a proper slice of a unique single 5G SA core. So it's my understanding, how are we using the network slicing features?
Yes, correct. Now we are using essentially the network that are set by the ECT17 project, 5G Vini and 5G EVA. There are very sophisticated networks that are based on slice, if possible. But sometimes the problem is that currently the release number 15 that 3GPP standardized does not have a full development of slices. So sometimes we use something that is very similar to slicing the core of the network in order to segregate the resources for each case study. Take into account that both in 5G solutions, I did not say, but there is a multi-living lab where different concurrently use cases are running together with the same infrastructure. There is a test like an operator. And then that the ICT 17 projects like 5G EVA or 5G Vini are collaborating with the several ICT 19 projects, not only 5G solutions. So it's possible that the same network is used by multiple use cases. So, okay, the segregation is necessary.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrea. I will leave now the floor to my colleague, Elena Vitelaru. Elena is the owner of the SME involvement task, and she will introduce us the approach and the process to which SMEs can candidate to interact with 5G Solution Consortium and have the chance to be evaluated to try their services on the real site. So please, Elena.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to try to share my screen. Okay. See. Is it visible to everyone? So you can see my
Yes,
screen?
Elena.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So as Yuri said, we are both working in Aristote, and today I'm gonna talk about how the European SMEs can develop or can present the ideas that they have developed within the 5G Solutions project. I'm gonna talk about the framework that we are using in order to select the SMEs and to organize the events, and the role that Aristote has in this task, as well as about the partners that we are having in the project. So as we said, the title of the presentation is how 5G solutions can contribute to European products and development for SMEs and startups. Within the 5G solutions, as Andrea mentioned, we have various verticals, and then the objectives that we have in the project are to develop realist and advanced innovative use cases, so solutions that can be commercialized and applied on the European market. To demonstrate that the potential of this solutions is developed through 5G technology and has been validated in trials directly involving the living labs that we have within the project. Also, within 5G, we validate the business models because all these living labs and use cases that we have in the project do have a very commercial focus. So for each of them, we develop business cases in order to ensure that they are valid for the market, and they have, as Andrea mentioned, a social component and also an economic and sustainability component through being able to be developed and present on the market as real services. s.r.l is the leading lab leader for smart energy. And these are, you can see, a part of the things that we are doing as a company. We are active in door-to-door multi-mobility and smart electric grids. We have inter-network capabilities designed as building blocks. We have several capabilities and services that make us to be one of the leading startups in Italy in this field. Within the project, we also lead the SME involvement, as Yuri mentioned. So this means that we are organizing and we are responsible for managing all the interaction of the small and medium-sized companies and startups with the 5GSolutions network. I have in mind the participants, not actually the technology. So we are leading the Smart Energy Living Lab, focusing on the innovation that this Living Lab can bring within the project and within the 5G smart energy services. And we are also developing, together with our partners, the business planning and market exploitation. So we are focused on, as you can see on the screen, on the go market for the Energy Living Lab, trying to build a portfolio of products and of knowledge that can be designed for a large part of SMEs active in various verticals. The reasons to apply for our events is that, first of all, you will have the possibility to present your idea in front of our partners that are composed from small and large sized companies. So if you are chosen by the consortium partners, your idea can be validated in a real 5G vertical environment. And this is a very important tool in developing innovative features as well. You could also be involved and invited in face-to-face events with potential collaborators within our 5G platform of participants. And as the startups that we're going to meet today, you're going to have the possibility of pitching your idea in front of an international audience, and including European 5G initiatives and representatives. For the framework, this is the way that we are managing our events. So we are opening a funding. We are opening a platform on which you can submit your idea. So you apply to propose your idea on the 5GSolutions. Then you receive an eligibility feedback based on the proposal that you've sent. Furthermore, you receive an invitation to run experiments with the 5GSolution partners, and then you get to participate in involvement events, to meet our partners, and also to pitch your idea.
Okay, thank you, Elena. We are a little bit early with the scheduling. I don't know if someone has any question about Elena introduction about the SME involvement idea. You can post it to the chat if you want, or otherwise we can go on with the agenda.
Okay, thank you, Yuri.
Just wait 1 or 2 minutes to make sure that if someone has any question, can.
Yes, I'm definitely available. Stop to share the screen, or you have, okay. Yes, I stopped.
Okay, I also received a message from Giovanni Coppola from Enelix, who is going to reach us shortly. So maybe we can, while we wait Giovanni to connect, maybe Maurizio, we can anticipate your presentation to.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, Maurizio, we can see it and we can hear you.
Okay, so my name is Maurizio Cecchi from this institute that is taking care of technology transfer, especially for SMEs, and I am one of the partners of the 5G solution. So today we are going to give a little support to startups and SMEs that are willing to participate in future projects, as, for instance, in the 5G Solution Consortium, as was anticipated by Andrea. In 5G Solution, there are large companies like a telecom operator and large vendors, but there are many SMEs that participated in a consortium and got the funding, so a contract from the European Commission to do this work. So in these few minutes, I will try to give just some suggestions, starting from a small picture of what is the specific program of the Commission of Horizon 2020 that funded 5G Solution and many other 5G projects. Then going in the future program that you know are starting from 2021, and especially a big one from the European Innovation Council that is dedicated to SMEs. And then we'll try to see how the specific project on network and IoT are going from the previous program, Horizon 2020, to Horizon Europe, that is covering the 7 years from 2021 to 2027, and then giving some suggestion. So this is basically the picture of the whole 5G PPP program. So there were different phases, and of course, in the future, also in Horizon Europe, there will be similar kind of, let's say, setup. So a starting phase more oriented to research, to innovation, so some more visionary and technological project in the first phase. In the second phase, a lot of work on development of components, architecture, software, and tools for 5G, and this will happen also, of course, in 6G. And then in the last phase, where, for instance, 5G solution is funded, dedicated to the trials. So really, as was anticipated by Yuri and by Andrea, going to test, measure in real field test what has been developed. And of course, with a large project. For instance, in the specific call for 5G solution, there were 90 million euros available. So 6 projects were funded. And of course, all of this in parallel for, let's say, more this one that you see in green, that is the long-term evolution for the future that is going to 6G. Of course, this is done not only for, let's say, in a standalone manner from the Commission. Of course, this kind of programs are following very carefully all the international, let's say, scenario, and especially what is done in the standardization body. As you know, the 3GPP is one of the most relevant ones, so many projects refers to this. So You see release 14, 15, 16, and now we are targeting release 17 and 18. These are all the different, let's say, standardization for the new technology having on. Of course, with many other standardization body like ITU and so on. So, as you see in the bottom line, we started from first experiments, trials, because everything, of course, is done to have an impact on the market. So at the end, the real result of our project are good, let's say, deployment and commercialization of what we are doing. This is done in the very complex European arena, so not alone, but there are many other programs like 5G PPP, like the 5G AA is the part of the automotive sector willing to test new communication technologies like 5G. The 5G ACA is more dedicated to the factory of the future, and so on. ECS for security, I don't want to go to detail, but of course, if you are willing to present a proposal, take care that beside the specific programs dedicated to networks IoT, there are other kind of programs and associations that cover the different vertical sectors. So going to Horizon Europe, there will be more resources in the 7 next year. So at present, the best estimate is 94 billion euros for all the research, of course, not only in 5G, 6G, but for all kinds of technologies, with a very similar good, let's say, funding scheme, because as you know, there will be 2 different kinds of projects more research-oriented that has 100% funding. So all the costs related to the project will be funded 100%, plus, of course, the overhead. And for the more closer innovation activities, there will be a 70% funding of the cost of the project. So this, of course, creates a lot of competition because are very good financial scheme, but I mean, the results is very good. So now I just wanted to see, sorry, here is written in Italian, but I will comment in English. There is a specific program that is now launched by the Commission that is purely and exclusively dedicated to SMEs. So it is the European Innovation Council. So this kind of initiative is targeting really to give strength to the small startups and companies with a huge amount of money available. So there are 10 billion euros available in Horizon Europe for this kind of initiative. Of course, this is managed from, let's say, the Research Council of the Commission. So they want a really visionary project and new technologies, not anything that is, nothing that is available on the market, but really new things, but there are really good resources to do this. And this is structured in 3 kind of streams. One is called Pathfinder, the second is Transition, and the third Acceleration. And just to know if some of you, is aware of the past SMEs instrument of Horizon 2020, this kind of project are substituting this program. And so, because that one was very spread, so there were a huge number of projects, but very small. Now the Commission is trying to give more strength to this program with large amount of money for each project. So in the first stream that I mentioned, so the European Innovation Council Pathfinder is giving 3 million, up to 3 million euros for open calls and 4 million euros for challenges. So something more closer to what is really the challenge, the technological challenge of the future. And this part is really visionary. So here the maturity that, as you know, in the Commission is measured by this kind of parameter, that is s.r.l. from 1 to 4. It means that it's something really new, something disruptive, not there. For instance, 5G, I mean, is not there, but something that is really where no one had an idea to present initiative for the future. In this case, as the other projects of the Horizon Europe, you need at least 3 partners from 3 countries. And it is open, so will be shortly open. So the deadline is the 27th of October 2021. So large projects, very, very visionary. The second one is called Transition. So is really to demonstrate what you are doing. So it means that it's closer to the market. Is in this case, there is opportunity by only one partner or a PMI, spin-off, startup, of even research departments of a research institute to present projects, or if you prefer, you can do it in small consortium. The only condition that this kind of initiative should be based on something that has been done in the Pathfinder proposal. So the first part of Horizon Europe for this transition program is the 22nd September 21. And it is, let's say, related for this specific goal only to medical devices and the part dedicated to energy, and especially, I mean, the way to handle energy resources. So in this first call, you don't have other part, but for instance, the use case that we presented also by NLX, NL, and are followed by RS2T can go into this first call. The third one is called acceleration. So it's more closer to the, say, the private acceleration incubator that you have on the market. So is really help to go on the development and commercialization of new products and new services. It is a kind of hybrid program. So accordingly to the different call, can be funded by grants up to 2,500,000 of really funding, so pure funding. And it can go up to 15 million euros in auction, I mean, in shares, as all the private, let's say, acceleration are doing. So is, of course, this is more really to accelerate what are the results of the research into the market, and of course supports the new technological development, and is, as you see by the maturity from 5, 6 to 8, 8 means the market. And so, of course, it's more competitive because our high number, but I think for the winning company is really an important instrument. So, having said that, what are the suggestions to SMEs and startups? Of course, don't try simply to present what is in the market is often on the market. Really, this kind of programs needs new ideas, something not available. Of course, if you are going on this kind of project like 5G solution, the network performance in the broad sense that was presented by Andrea before is important. And of course, if you want to go on, the best way is to have an understanding of which were the winning projects. There is a very good database from the Commission that is Cordis. These are the link. Of course, this presentation will be available, so you can go there. And of course, there is a very transparent way of presenting the calls by the Commission in a specific program. So you can go there and select the specific granting program that you better suit your specific idea. And in this kind of programs, please be aware that are very often calls dedicated, like as we saw from the European Innovation Council before, purely and exclusively dedicated to SMEs. So only SMEs can have funding from here. So if we go in a little more, let's say, specific part of analysis of what are the program for 6G, that is of course, the follower of 5G. There is a specific program called Smart Network and Sensors. And of course, the aim is to go on human-centric internet, go especially on deployment of cross-border corridors, support the sovereignty. You know, there is always a competition from the States, Asia, China, and so on. So it's important to demonstrate how your ideas can improve the competitiveness of Europe. You have to address sustainability. And of course, it is not a pure technological work. In what you're doing, you have to show which are the value, which are the business chain, how really your ideas can be successful in the market. So in this kind of program that is a part of Horizon Europe, and this is basically what in the past was called 5G PPP, now is becoming Smart Network and Services, and sensors. So sorry, here is sensors, includes IoT. There is a lot of focus on understanding data control for privacy security issues, on security, and of course of energy consumption that, as you know, is one of the main challenges for all kind of technology for, let's say, networks and IoT. This is a very brief, let's say, brainstorming of what the European Union highlighted in this kind of program. So of course, as was explained by Andrea, we have to go to zero latency, go on zero touch infrastructure, and of course, using artificial intelligence, having application going toward Internet of Sense. In the cloud, that you know is a mature technology, a lot of focus on the edge, IoT neutral services. Of course, also the component parts will be part of these programs. And as I said, there are also specific programs that have the aim to show how new system, new architecture, new platform are more energy efficiency and can provide more security. And of course, also in this case, we know that there is a lot of artificial intelligence involved in this. So all the preparation of this program, I'm not going in all the part, has been released, discussed in the Parliament, in the Commission. So in autumn, early autumn, there will be the adoption of the Commission of this specific program on smart network and service and sensors. And that will become an important initiative, is what is called joint undertaking. So in the third trimester of this year, there will be the first call for project in which you can present together with others your idea. So this was my presentation, of course, open to any kind of questions. Thank you.
Okay. Maurizio, thank you very much for your presentation. The presentation, as said, will be available on the portal. And if you have any question, you can post to the chat. If we have time at the end of the meeting, we will try to answer all the questions. Now, it's a great pleasure to have here Giovanni Coppola. Giovanni is the e-mobility global marketing head of NLX, and he will talk us about 5G innovation in smart electromobility. Please, Giovanni, thank you to be here.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
Yeah, we can hear you, Giovanni. We cannot see you.
Okay, and so maybe the camera is loading. Can you see me now?
Yes, we can see you. Thank you.
So I actually prepared some support backup to show what we're doing within the 5G innovation activities, and how this fit to our product strategy, if it's okay for you. And then maybe I leave some minutes for Q&A and any curiosity that might arise on this topic. So as Yuri anticipated, I should be able now to cast my screen, so you should be able to look at my deck.
We can see it, John. We can see it.
Okay, that's great. So I'm currently responsible for global marketing at NLX based in Rome. NLX is a relatively newborn company within NL Group, which is tasked with the development and retail of new product and services within the mainly 5 different business areas. One of them is e-mobility, but NLX also operates within public lighting, financial services, energy efficiency, and also demand response segment, and residential products like smart home products and services. Despite the fact that it's a relatively new company within NL, it is already operating in more than 25 countries, not just in the core NL legacy markets that are Italy, Spain, and Romania in Europe, but we also have operations in North America and South America. Particularly North America is a very much important market for e-mobility. And the interest of developing innovative solutions within 5G innovation activities arise from the fact that differently than other utilities, our foot mobility is kind of very much vertically integrated. So we have at the moment a standing portfolio of product and services that we retail to our customer base, which is a combination, a blended combination of in-house development and also off-the-shelf products that are white labeled to our customers. So for example, we have fully insourced the development of the wall box, which is the residential charger, and we are currently developing a DC version of such a residential charger. The reason for vertical integration of technology into the residential segment comes from the fact that when you look at the development of the market for the future, most of the customers buying and purchasing electric cars will need a wall box. And the wall box in a ratio that is predicted to be like 0.75, 0.8 per vehicle sold. And the wall box which will be installed at the home of our customers, whether it is AC wall box or DC wall box, will be a key element in the value proposition, and also in some sense a way to enter in the residential environment as a brand. This is the reason why we believe a vertical integration of technology in the development of the wall box is a primary condition for nurturing the positioning of NL in e-mobility. And in our portfolio, we also partner with other companies, mostly on the upper power segment, like DC charging above the 50 kilowatt. We have a very good track record of cooperation with our partners, and some of them available today in this meeting, with regards to how to minimize the development risk, also financially, by leveraging the possibilities that are given by international public and private partnerships, but also international funding, like in the case of the development of our DC wallbox, which I mentioned before. And particularly within the 5GSolutions project, we are embedding in our new product line the DC wallbox, which will be natively born with a 5G connectivity. And this qualifies the development of the wallbox as an unprecedented innovative project, because it will be the first wallbox, one of the first DC direct current wallbox available in the market, but reasonably the first one that will be having this degree of connectivity right from the beginning. Why the 5G connectivity is going to be of paramount importance for the mass deployment of residential and commercial charging. Utility and in general electric cars can be grossly seen as battery on wheels. And in a world where more than 90% of a vehicle lifetime, the vehicle is basically idle in the parking area. You as a customer, you have 90% of the lifetime that can be programmed in a way that charging of the car, which is the new kind of refuel, substituting the conventional fuel with the electricity, can be programmed in a way that different use cases are going to be fulfilled. So the easiest use case of smart charging is to allocate the charging pattern of the user according to the most suitable pricing available. And this falls in the broader category of the so-called beyond the meter products. Another example of beyond the meter products is definitely the self-consumption of PV production in local, which basically allows charging of electric vehicles in accordance to the PV forecast and PV production as a boundary condition. There are also other services that imply a faster time in response, like frequency regulation. And frequency regulation, which is an in front of the meter services, typically is delivered in a matter of seconds, and particularly needs a coordination of aggregated loads to be effective. And when it comes to this kind of fast response, the end-to-end time in which the service can be delivered so that the end user can have a benefit of the above mentioned 90% of time that the car is idle, basically. In such a scenario, every second will count. Every second of advantage in executing the charging control strategy will make a difference. And this is why an impact in using a 5G connectivity, bringing down the latency time for executing such kind of services will be paramount in scaling up this kind of solutions. So we see this as a technology that is a prerequisite for getting a mass aggregation of electric vehicles in residential and commercial charging behavior, in order to exploit the amount of time that the cars will be not used by the final user, so that the charging can be programmed also for providing in front of the meter services that can be remunerated to the final user, bringing down the total cost of ownership from the EV perspective. And we are exploring different use cases and architecture in 5GSolutions projects that are basically related to different conditions where the control agent for the smart charging process is placed. notwithstanding the type of service that will be trialed in the project, whether it's a beyond the meter or in front of the meter service. In general, decentralized control strategy requires computational tasks to be delegated to the field devices. And computational tasks to be delegated to the field devices means also that you need to allocate some edge intelligence to the field device that once were typically located only in the supervisory control and data acquisition systems. 5G gets in the picture because it improves the communication latency and reliability of the overall computation time, and also allows for faster response in the case where the faster response is critical for the delivery of the service. What we're doing in the project is not just to design, of course, the architecture and the full set of potential use cases that can be benefiting from the 5G technology, but we're also trialing it in different environments using the direct current 25 kilowatt wall box that Enel is going to introduce in the portfolio. And we're trialing this concept within a coordinated fleet charging use cases in different environments located in Italy. That is a little bit like a 12 minutes overview of what we're doing in 5G technology and how 5G technology fits into the product innovation and development of Enel in mobility.
So thank you very much, Giovanni. I know that you maybe will have to leave before the end of the workshop. So if there is a question, if there is any question about this presentation, we can take it now, so to make sure that you get the answer. Otherwise, you can post it to the chat, and we will ask Giovanni to answer by mail if possible. If you understand you wanted to do a question after. So it looks there is no question at the moment. So thank you again, Giovanni, for your presentation. I will give now the floor to Antonino Biondi. Antonino is the head of Innovation Hub in Enel in Italy, and as RS2T, we have been part of this program in the past, and I can say it's a real opportunity for SMEs and startups. So we were very happy to have Antonino here to share this opportunity with other SMEs attending this meeting. So Antonino, thank you very much for being here. I leave you for the presentation.
Hi, Yuri. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for inviting me. So just to be sure, can you hear me and can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it and we can hear you.
Okay, great. So today I'll talk about open innovation in Enel, and I'll tell you how we do it, which are our tools, our mission, our scope, and so I give you some insight about our open innovation model. So first of all, when we talk about innovation in Enel, we talk about innovability. Innovability is a word which we create, I think, at first time, and it is the merge of innovation and sustainability. Since for us, sustainability is the scope, is the purpose of our activity, and innovation is the way on which we try to be more sustainable. So for us, sustainability is business. So all our business activities are focused on reach sustainability goals. So to be more sustainable, we innovate every day in the activity that we do. Or at the best, we try to be always to innovate, to be more, to make our business more sustainable. How we do it? We create a global network of innovation hubs around the world to scout the best solutions, the best innovative startups around the world. So we create 10 innovation hubs that you can see on the screen, on the slide, and we are present in Italy, where Enel is based, in Europe, where we have an hub in Madrid, and then we are present in Moscow, where we have also present with our business in Russia, Israel, in Tel Aviv, Haifa, where we have an innovation hub and a laboratory on fintech activities, also dedicated to NLX. And then we are present also in Boston and Silicon Valley, since they are a relevant innovation ecosystem in USA. And then in Latin America, in Santiago del Chile, Brazil, in Rio, where we are present with our operations there. So each hub has the scope, the mission to work on the innovation ecosystem where the hub is present, to be connected with the most relevant startups, to be connected with the research centers, to be connected with universities, accelerators, and all the innovation actors that can help us to find solutions in line with our business needs. Basically, we in Enel, we work, all our innovation activity is based on the business needs. So, for example, I manage the innovation hub in Italy. So I manage the 3 hubs that we have, one in Catania, Pisa, and Milan. And basically, all the business line in Enel, so NLX, that we already know with the previous presentation, global power generation, global infrastructure networks, are the 3 business lines which identified some business needs, and the innovation hubs has to discover in these ecosystems the best solutions. So based on the innovation needs, we make a scouting around the world, and we provide a list of startups to our business lines, to identify which are the technologies more in line with our needs. So the business is involved from the beginning in the definition of the needs and in the selection of the technologies that they are interested in testing, in making tests. So when we identify with our business line an interesting project, an interesting startups, what we do with the startups is industrial collaboration to test and co-develop the solutions. So we set up an agreement with the startups to make a test and a proof of concept to validate the technology. And if that technology and if the test success, what we do is to become a client, a customer of the startups. So after a POC, after test, if the solutions, if the solution works, we scale it up. We scale it up at global level on in the business of Enel. So at the end of the test, we try to have the solution. So the startups became a supplier of NL. While we don't make investment on the equity of the companies. So we work just as an industrial partner. So we provide expertise, we provide a budget for making tests. We provide the laboratories where we test the solutions, and on the other hand, we don't put money on the equity because we don't need we don't think that we are the right player to do it. But as you know, there are other actors like venture capital or financial institutions that make it. So what we can do is to put in contact startups we work with venture capital or financial institutions. So as I said before, we help the startups with giving them access to our knowledge, giving them access to our laboratories, and on the other hand, we put in contact them with all the financial actors that can help them in having the funds that they need. On the other hand, for the activities, for projects where there is a important, relevant part of hardware, we put in contact them also with a partner, industrial partner that can help them in this industrialization of the solutions. So we work together. So we work together with financing actors and other in the industrial corporate to provide a complete support to the startup. Here we have some example of startups we work with. So we did in the last 4 years more 300 collaborations, and more than 80 are now global suppliers. It means that they are currently providing us their services, their technologies, their products, and we pay for it. So there is a customer supplier relationships, and so this model brings us this value in terms of new services, of new product, and we think that we also are helping these companies to grow up. Finally, how startups and other SMEs how they can be put contact with us. We have a platform, openknowability.com, which is a crowdsourcing platform. So where we have our challenge, or our challenges are public, and who has a project in line with the challenge can apply, and all the projects are evaluated from our business colleagues. On the other hand, we have also that contact with, or like event like this can help to make connection with between us and potential companies that can work with us. So that's all from my side. I leave time for Q&A if there is some question.
Hey, Antonio, thank you very much. We will leave the question for the end of the workshop. Now we have 3 innovative SMEs. I will not call them startups because in some case they have already evolved to a more structured organization. I hope this can be also a good chance to know some more innovative companies for the audience and for you. So I will leave now the presentation floor to Matteo Rizzi from WebTech, and will introduce a very interesting case about drones and the use that 5G will boost for this kind of products. So Matteo,
okay. Yes,
please.
Thank you, Yuri.
We can see the presentation.
Okay.
And hear you, so it's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to show you complete suite for drone capture workflow developed by WebTech. Just a couple of words about WebTech. WebTech is based both in Milan and in Rome, and it was born from the ideas of two leader companies, which are Esri, leader in GIS technologies, and Up2You, which is leader in innovation technologies. We are supplier for many different fields like defense, space, public administration, utility, energy, and mobility. And the suite I'm talking about was born to work together with all drones currently on the market, like, for example, DJI Inspire 2, DJI Mavic Pro, Phantom 4, and so on. So thanks to the partnership with the ADPM drones, we provide a docking station called Hangar, which allows to, let's say, autonomously manage the whole drone flight process in a completely safe environment. And besides the hangar, there is also the portable control station. It contains all the required materials to ensure the right flight process in a box. This solution provides mobility and safety for all the instruments contained inside it. Now let's move the focus on the advantages of the 5G technology in the drone workflow. First of all, the low latency. Low latency up to 1 millisecond leads to a round trip time low enough to reach the C2 system in real time. And then an high throughput allows to process video streaming in high quality, even in the UHD video. The edge computing allows to relocate control system like ground control system, decision support system, and also the real-time analysis can be, let's say, relocated thanks to the edge computing. And another significant advantage of using 5G is a more accurate tracking of the drone paths. And then talking about performance, 5G allows to have up to 1 million of devices per square kilometer in full respect to the Internet of Things idea. And finally, also the transfer rate has a significant performance improvement, up to 10 gigabytes per second per single device. So what did that lead us to? Well, if usually each operator has one drone with one drone plan, in our product there is just one operator which controls many drones with many drone flight plans. So we have two applications, a flight planning app for drone operators and a web app for online analysis and collaborations. With the app, you can design flight plans both in 2-dimension and 3-dimension. So since the app is integrated with ArcGIS, you can bring everything in maps and also in 3-dimension scenes to help yourself in planning flights around a real world of, let's say, geographic features. And you know, the app supports many common flight paths, including area and cross-hatch surveys, perimeter and vertical scans, inspections, corridor flights, and so on. So once you have planned a flight, you can perform the flight autonomously and then upload the data from the processing in the cloud. Our suite produces 3 different kinds of data products. We have 2D image maps, and this can be useful for creating base map and other kind of image in 2D. And then we have 3D elevation products. And finally, you can also capture, let's say, oblique images from the sky, which can be used in many workflows, like, I don't know, for example, inspection and other. And finally, just to talk about the benefits for the users, there are 6 key benefits. First of all, automated flight modes allow to fly hectares of data within a minute. Second, you can improve data accuracy by using higher resolution sensor points on the ground. And third, you can reduce costs by leveraging unlimited processing and storage in the cloud. And fourth, you can improve safety and productivity by automating flights and inspection in dangerous or even hard to reach areas. Fifth, you can gain smarter analytics insights by tracking the drone flights or even tracking data over the time, and having a single source of record for all your drone data. And that's it for me. Yuri, if you, okay.
Matteo, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
If someone has questions for Matteo, because otherwise I have one question. Okay. Matteo, one thing it's clear inside your presentation is that you plan to use 5G technology for real-time control of the drones, right?
Yes.
My question is, are you also evaluating, or it makes sense for your technology to use 5G also as a broadband communication system, considering that some of the drones maybe are using high resolution images and so on?
Yes, for sure. In fact, the broadbanding is having a large broadband is another advantage of the 5G technology in this solution. So for sure, it could be an opportunity. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Matteo. Now I'll ask Stefano Milanese from Motorway to present the company. Okay,
yes.
Stefano.
Good afternoon. I hope you can hear me and you can see my screen.
Yes, I confirm both. The screen is okay and we can hear you. Thank you very much, Stefano.
Thanks a lot for inviting me to present during this webinar. I will present our application data-driven virtual sensing technology for edge computing application. Just a few words about our company. It was founded as a spin-off of Polytechnic of Turin, and we are developing industrial innovation based on machine learning and data-driven application. We have also developed some proprietary technologies covered by international patents. And as you can see from this slide, we have received a number of awards and funding. The most recent is an SME instrument and a seal of excellence related to the application of a virtual sensor for a skidding estimation in vehicle dynamics. What we do, Motorway develops data-driven technologies to face complex technological challenges, to improve performance in system, to manage real-time activities, for environmental impact, diagnostic and maintenance, and safety and reliability. And we operate in the field of 3 main dimensions: control, diagnostic, and prediction. Our key technologies are related to control system, what we call the self-tuning control, to modeling, our NOSEM technology, nonlinear set membership modeling. And the third one that I will present more in detail today is a virtual sensing technology that we call the direct virtual sensors. Our technologies have significant advantages compared to conventional technologies, and the 5G technology and networks will increase even further these advantages, which are a significant reduction in terms of development time, and improvement of accuracy, easy integration and tuning of our solution on a system or on a product, and it's a low-cost solution, being essentially a software application. So our solution are typically software solution and algorithms. We have most recently also integrated our solution in hardware and solution in collaboration with some partners, in particular with the ST Microelectronics, and this product can be used for edge computing applications. We operate in three main industries, so the mobility and automotive sectors, where we collaborate with major players, international players, as you can see from the logos. We also operate in the energy sector and the industry 4.0. I will now deep dive into some use cases where the 5G technology plays a significant enabler role for our application. Well, this is just to say that we are also considered among key players in the virtual sensor market, among quite a large and important corporation, as you can see from the bottom of the slide. So let's get to the use cases. So the first one case is related to development of predictive algorithms for maintenance application and predictive maintenance application. This project was performed and is currently ongoing for a train operating company in Italy. Maintenance processes are under pressure for different reasons. Of course, there is a pressure on cost and cutting and reducing the cost of maintenance, and to optimize the maintenance processes and the performances. And typically, also considering some specific industry sector like mobility sector, train, railway sector, and many others, there is a notable amount of data that are typically available, but not all of them are translated in useful information for decision making. And this was the case specifically here. And of course, an optimization of the maintenance processes can have an impact on customer experience and company's reputation. So our solution was the realization of a virtual sensing application that was translated in a predictive maintenance tool for anomaly detection, allowing optimization of operations and reduction of cost of interventions. We have developed these virtual sensing using a different type of data coming from the asset, the train, data coming from the warehouses, data coming from different sources such as meteorological data and others. So as you can understand, and this is of course a real-time application, and the amount of data and also the latency of the communication, it's very important and critical for this kind of application. We have also made similar application of predictive maintenance in other sectors, like for bus fleet management, still in real time. And we are now most recently started to work for a technological company that develops robotics and automation system for retailers. We are using our virtual sensor for the optimization of the warehouse automation and the robots which operates in these very advanced warehouses. The second case and last one is related to smart building application, again of virtual sensing. So this is a problem which is well known. but still there is still a lot of improvement areas in the smart buildings and in the energy saving and the energy efficiency of buildings. And presently, the energy management is focused on temperature control mainly. And as part of this project, we also consider the actual comfort of people which are living or occupying a building. And this being a parameter, fundamental parameter for to feed in the temperature control and the energy control of the building. So the solution is a real-time estimate of the comfort sensation by the users, using a different and making the fusion of different data and information derived from physical sensors, sensor of temperature, humidity, and CO2. And our virtual sensor estimate the comfort of the people and provide the feedback into the energy system to optimize the energy saving. And we've been able to provide energy saving up to 30% with this kind of solution. So these are the two cases that I wanted to present today. Of course, there are many others. If you're interested, of course, let me know either here during this session or after the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stefano. Just a quick question for you too. You have talked about multi-access edge computing and data and so on, but in your opinion and for your solution, which is the most important feature 5G technology is bringing, upgrading past technologies like 4G, which will be important for your solutions?
It really depends on the type of application. So for some specific type of application, the latency is fundamental. So the improvement in latency will be very critical. We do a lot of work and we do a lot of application in the automotive sectors, developing a virtual sensing application and control system for vehicles, where the safety of the application, the reliability of the application is fundamental, of course. And so the latency in that case will be very important. The second element is related to the fact that typically for edge computing nowadays, with the present technologies, we need to find the right balance between the number of data that we can elaborate, and that will be not the case with the 5G solution, where there will be a higher throughput and a higher availability of data, and so that will solve a bottleneck which is present at the moment.
Okay, Stefano, thank you very much. And now it's turn for Apio, Mattia Alfieri, CEO of the company. Please.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, we can hear you. Do you have a
Okay, I'm sharing the screen right now. Can you?
Okay, we can see it.
Okay. Okay, here we go. So, hello, everyone. I am Mattia Alfieri, CTO and the co-founder of Apio. And Apio is a venture builder company. And since 2014, we have been providing our customers with innovative and digital solutions. And we always had a common goal in all our projects, which has been to extract experience and insight from data. As you can see from the slide, we had the pleasure to work with very different kind of companies from Italy and from Europe. And we gained a deep know-how in technologies such as Internet of Things, cloud computing, blockchain, artificial intelligence, and so on. So we could present different use cases today, but we wanted to focus on particularly one, which is an Horizon 2020 project called Platone. Platone stands for Platform for Operation of Distributed Networks, and it aims at providing new ways to increase the observability of renewable energy resources and less, let's say, less predictable loads, and exploiting the concept of flexibility. And in the context of this project, which is involving actually, because the project is still running, a lot of partners from a lot of countries, we have been providing the so-called blockchain layer, so the blockchain access layer, and the software that runs the so-called user devices. So in a certain way, we provided the layer that stands between the DSO and the notarization of the measures and of the signals sent to the single point of delivery. And speaking of energy management, let's say, in the context of the demand-side management, there are some aspects that we always have to take in account. First of all, we have to know always the precise state of the network at the best resolution available. And we also want to be able to forecast, or at least to know in advance, the amount of flexibility that the network can offer at a given point in time. And also we have to be able to distribute the required flexibility among the nodes. And for this, we know already from past projects that a centralized management of this information can lead to scenarios where we can have scalability challenges and issues. That's why we are proposing a new solution to the problem, in which we leverage the edge device technology along with the 5G technology. In particular, as I said before, we have a good understanding and know-how on Internet of Things, and we developed a platform, a so-called IoT cloud platform. And we currently are at the third iteration of our platform, and it is, let's say, the core of our proposition. So we will have each edge device deployed on the edge, and the edge device is able to communicate and collaborate with the existing appliances, such as photovoltaic panels, battery management system, or energy management system, or directly with the new generation point of delivery. And then the IoT cloud platform can, let's say, pass through API interfaces all the needed information to third-party systems, such as energy marketplaces, other platform, or also we have been experimenting with blockchain applications on public blockchains, so we can instruct a smart contract to interact with the, let's say, energy network. And the interesting thing of this approach is that we can continuously deliver observability at a high resolution to the second level resolution. And also we can continuously provide flexibility forecasting directly from the edge, because the edge device is able to compute those forecasts thanks to algorithms. And as I said, there are some advantages to this approach. The most important, in our opinions, are the distributed computation. So you have each node that is working in synergy with the whole network. You have distributed business rules, so you can actually customize the flexibility management logic on a per node basis or a per group basis. And also we can offer offline services with continuity, because edge computing enables us to let's say, keep working when there is a network partition or a network disruption. And in our case, all the components I'm presenting now, most of them are already available, because we, let's say, applied this concept to several projects. We have our own IoT cloud platform, our own edge device stack, and our own smart contract framework. Let's talk a bit about our IoT cloud platform. As I said, it's a cloud platform which is already available on the market. We offer it as a software as a service solution, but we can also deploy it on your public cloud or on your on-premises on your data center. And the main feature of the platform are basically that is compatible with any data logger in the market, thanks to standardized protocols. We provide real data analysis, and we also can offload data to external data analysis systems. We provide RESTful APIs to interact with any software that needs to gather data from the platform. We can scale to millions of devices concurrently. We are machine learning ready because inside of the software as a service application, we are already applying machine learning algorithms. And the platform is multi-tenant in the sense that we can provide the platform to multiple actors at the same time. And speaking about the edge device framework, briefly, it is we don't usually provide the hardware, so not the physical device, but we provide all the software stack that is needed on each project, and we can also indicate which is the best hardware to accompany the software. The edge device framework basically provides any feature that you expect from a framework of this type. We provide connectivity with the physical devices, with the edge applications, so other applications that are sharing the network, but also with the cloud platform. So such as we have ready integrations for Azure platform, AWS IoT Core, and obviously with our own cloud platform. And for the last part, for the smart contract integration, we ran several projects with different companies. We integrated their existing workflows with public and private blockchains, and we are also experimenting it with our IoT cloud platform. And this was it. So if you have any question, feel free to ask.
Okay, Mattia, question I have is if you already tested on field the usage of 5G technology for your application, or it was just a simulation?
Yes, we tested in the field the edge device part of the application. 5G is an enabler for us because, as I said, in this kind of real-time applications, latencies are really, really important, and especially when we are talking about scenarios of let's say market scenarios where you have to accept and send offers to other parties. So in the energy scenario, when you have to send a flexibility signal to an energy provider or to an energy consumer, we think that latencies and most importantly, maybe stability of the network are a fundamental factor.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Really interesting as well.
Thank you.
We are almost at the end of the workshop, so before thanking everybody for the participation, all the speakers that were involved and all the attendees, I have been noticed that Gianluigi connected with us for a final remark. I will leave him the floor so he has the chance to close this workshop. He is the one who make these events happen. So we are very happy to work with Gianluigi, Carla, and all the team. So thank you, Gianluigi, to be here, and we are happy you can close with us this workshop.
Thank you, Yuri. Can you hear me? That's okay.
Yeah,
because I'm switching between different platforms, so that's the every time there is something that could be, I guess. But anyway, thank you, Yuri, and also Maurizio, because it's now it's a sort of a tradition that 5G European projects should be part of IOTHINGS Week, and so on. So I'm very happy that will happen again this year with the IOTHINGS Week, because 5G is not no more is something that will arrive, but it's a reality. There are networks. You can start the application. You can check your application, the networks, everything. So if you are also a small or micro companies, you have to invest. You have to go in that direction. So anyway, I listen that and part of the meeting this evening, and I wanted to say two things. One, that's next month there is another event, our Smart City Now, in 15-16 of June, and you can find many ideas of application inside smart city and communities, and all related where the municipalities can wait something that make a real useful application for citizens based on 5G networks. So take and if you go on the Smart City Now website, you can find the agenda and everything. But at the end, I don't want to take more time, spend time, because I think it was a long afternoon for all our attendees. That's I am really amazed about the project and the startup they pitch in this session. And I want to suggest, or for these startups, but not only the startups, all the companies that are as attendee in this meeting, to be applied to our IOTHINGS awards. Because I don't know if you know, but we started this year the first edition of the new awards only on Internet of Things, value chain, and ecosystem. So you can find all the information on the website. You can go IOTHINGS Week and click on IoT Awards button. And it's very, very important, because there is a huge opportunity to be maybe validized, or maybe in charge on maybe in touch with the jury. That is very important, because there are a lot of people that come from major companies or big companies in our jury. So I will finish my last my remarks, the final remarks for this session, and please consider this new projects or events, Smart City Now and IoT Awards. The opportunity as for you, for the company that are the attendee in this workshop, are very are many, and you can take this. So thank you to everybody, again to Yuri and Maurizio, but it's the most important part of the meeting are the attendees that are here in this online meeting, and thank you to everybody. I can tell to everybody that IOTHINGS Week will go back next year with the same format in spring 2022, because was a success last year, again this year, and will repeat and become an annual event for also the next years. Thank you to everybody, and if you have any information, you can ask to the secretary, or send an email as you want, or send it to me by LinkedIn as you want. Thank you.
Thank you, Gianluigi. Thank you, everybody, and for your participation. And hope to see you soon on next events. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you, Yuri. Bye.